Imagine you are seated in a bustling
Here's your order,
room
sir.
filled with the music of clinking
Thank
porcelain
you.
and
It looks
distant laughter.
delicious.
A bamboo basket is placed before you. The moment the lid is lifted,
Ah, look
a
at
cloud of
that.
steam rises,
Exquisite.
carrying an aroma that feels like a warm embrace. Inside,
Wow.
you find
Oh,
small,
wow. This
exquisite
is
bites,
exquisite.
translucent skins, golden crusts, and
Mm-hmm.
vibrant fillings, stacked neatly like a tiny edible parade of artistry. Most of us have enjoyed this experience and called it dim sum. But here is the mystery. Dim sum is not the name of a dumpling. It is not the name of a specific dish or even a single ingredient. So what is dim sum really, if it is far more than just dumplings in a bamboo basket? To find the answer, we have to look beyond the steam and into the very heart of the person who created it. Dim sum is often introduced as a style of Chinese cuisine, but that is like reading the cover of a book and assuming you know the ending. It isn't just about what is on the plate, it is about how the story of the meal is told. At its core, dim sum is a format of small, bite-sized treasures served in bamboo steamers or delicate plates, traditionally paired with tea. The goal is never to order a single massive entree and finish it in haste. Instead, the table becomes a living, moving collection, one small dish arriving after another, each offering a distinct texture, temperature, and mood. The name itself reveals the soul of the craft. Dim sum is most commonly translated as to touch the heart. Not to fill the stomach, but to touch the heart, like a gentle tap on the shoulder rather than a loud shout. These dishes were never meant to overwhelm you. They were engineered to satisfy curiosity in small, precise doses of perfection. That is why dim sum doesn't feel like a checklist. You taste something delicate, then something crisp. You pause for tea. You speak. You reach for another bite, not because you are starving, but because the meal keeps giving you reasons to stay. But if dim sum is a format, small dishes shared slowly, then the next question is obvious. Why did we start eating this way? To find the answer, you don't begin in a high-end kitchen. You begin somewhere much quieter. Before dim sum became a global phenomenon, there was a simpler, older habit, yum cha. It literally means to drink tea. In southern China, tea houses weren't just eateries, they were sanctuaries. Travelers, merchants, and weary workers along the Silk Road stopped here to reset, letting the weight of the day loosen its grip. Tea was the heart of that pause, not an accessory. It arrived warm and steady, asking your body to slow down long enough to feel human again. But tea has a quiet secret. It relaxes you, then it reminds you that you're hungry. To meet this need, tea house owners began offering small snacks, nothing meant to replace a meal, just something comforting enough to match the slow rhythm of sipping. The world loved the pairing. Sip, bite, a simple loop that felt complete. And once you discover a rhythm people enjoy, you can build an entire world around it. Over time, those modest snacks evolved into elaborate masterpieces. Chefs refined their techniques, especially in Guangdong, where dim sum culture became a diverse and proud art form. So dim sum didn't begin as dumplings, it began as something far more human, a pause, a moment designed for rest, conversation, and a little warmth on the side. To an outsider, the tea served at dim sum might look like a mere tradition, something done simply because it has always been done. In reality, tea is the backbone of the entire experience. A dim sum meal is a landscape of extremes. It can be steamed or fried, savory or sweet, rich or delicate. In a meal that shifts this much, your palate needs a constant. Tea is what smooths the edges. Varieties like jasmine, oolong, or pu'er do more than just hydrate. They cleanse the palate, cut through the richness of fried oils, and aid digestion. This is why, traditionally, the tea arrives first. It is a quiet, liquid form of hospitality. Welcome, settle in, take your time. But tea also serves a hidden purpose. It sets the pace. It is the metronome of the table.
您好，
Sip,
这家餐厅不错，
pause,
谢谢您
talk,
的拍饭。
bite, and sip again. The tea prevents the meal from turning into a sprint. Even the act of refilling the pot is a cue, a signal that there is no rush, only another small beginning. And tucked inside this rhythm lives a tiny gesture, a movement of the fingers that carries the weight of centuries. When someone pours tea for you at a dim sum table, you might notice a curious habit. Instead of saying thank you out loud, people tap the table with 2 or 3 fingers. It's a rhythmic, silent sound that echoes across generations. This gesture carries a long memory. Legend says it began with an 18th century emperor traveling in disguise to study his people. To keep his identity secret, he took turns pouring tea for his servants. In imperial China, the proper response to such an honor was to prostrate, to bow low to the floor, but doing so would have given the emperor away. So the servants improvised. They bowed with their fingers instead, tapping the wood to represent their bent knees and a lowered head. Today, that secret signal has become a universal sign of gratitude. It's a way to say thank you without breaking the flow of conversation or the stillness of the tea. It reminds us that at a dim sum table, the small things, a flicker of the fingers, a nod of the head, are often where the deepest respect is hidden. Dim sum includes hundreds of dishes, but a list of names won't explain the soul of the meal. To understand dim sum, you have to look at the classics, not as food, but as benchmarks. Each one is a test of a chef's precision, balance, and mastery over texture. Take har gao, the shrimp dumpling. In the culinary world, this is a skill test. The wrapper must be thin and translucent, almost ghostly, yet strong enough to hold a plump shrimp filling without tearing. When done right, it is a single, clean experience. A soft veil, a springy snap of shrimp, and a whisper of seasoning. Then there is siu mai, open-topped, confident, and unapologetic. It doesn't hide behind a wrapper, it delivers its richness directly. Char siu bao shifts the mood entirely, a cloud-like bun, soft and fluffy, hiding a sweet and savory secret that makes you smile before you even realize why. And if you still think dim sum is just dumplings, meet chung fun. These silky rice noodle rolls are an exercise in smoothness. There is no crunch here, only a quiet, unforgettable texture that glides across the palate. Add a crispy spring roll or a taro puff that shatters like glass, and the design becomes clear. Dim sum is built like a gallery. Each piece is small, each one is different, and all are meant to be experienced side by side. The very structure forces you to share, and sharing forces you to be present. Before a single word is spoken, the meal has already made you social. A typical dinner has a predictable arc. You order, you eat, and you finish. But dim sum is built out of arrivals. The table is never truly complete because there is always room for one more basket, one more small plate. This structure changes the social atmosphere instantly. Dim sum becomes less like a formal performance and more like a conversation that keeps finding new topics. Someone admires the translucency of a wrapper. Someone insists you taste a specific sauce, A third person splits a fluffy bun so everyone can have a piece. The food doesn't demand silence, it invites commentary. It asks you to be vocal, to be present. And because there isn't a single main dish, the meal doesn't revolve around hierarchy. It revolves around variety. Everyone participates, everyone shares. The meal turns into a shared timeline, the first golden cup of tea, the first steaming basket, and that inevitable moment when someone says, "Just one more," even when the heart is already full. But this entire experience, this parade of textures and flavors, would collapse into heaviness if it weren't for the one thing that keeps the whole system in perfect balance. As Chinese communities migrated across the globe, they carried this rhythm with them. Today, you can find dim sum in the soaring skyscrapers of Hong Kong, the historic streets of London, or the vibrant neighborhoods of Los Angeles. The settings may change, from traditional rolling carts pushed by grandmothers to modern, minimalist fusion restaurants, but the pulse remains the same. Whether it is a luxury dining room or a crowded roadside eatery, the core elements do not waver. Small dishes, steaming tea, and the people you choose to share them with. Dim sum has become a universal language of togetherness. It is history served in bite-sized portions, a tradition that has adapted to new ingredients and modern tastes without losing its original intent. It reminds us that no matter how fast the world moves, we still need those moments to slow down, to sip, and to touch the heart. Back at the table, the tea is still warm. Another basket arrives, trailing a thin ribbon of steam. Someone reaches first, then pauses, because in this space, sharing is built into the choreography. You take a piece. You sip. You nod at the flavor as if answering a question you didn't know you were being asked. Perhaps that is the truest definition of dim sum, the kind you feel more than you can translate. Dim sum is what happens when food is designed not for speed, but for company. When a meal is built from small offerings, each one a gentle tap on the heart, it ensures the table has room for laughter, for stories, and for a silence that is never awkward. Because the most surprising thing about dim sum isn't the variety of dishes, it is that the entire meal is structured like a reminder. You are allowed to sit. You are allowed to stay. You are allowed to share.
So the next time you sit before those bamboo baskets, notice what is really being served. It isn't just dumplings.
It is togetherness, offered in small, exquisite pieces, and somehow, that is exactly what Touch the Heart was pointing to all along.
If this look at dim sum gave you a new perspective on your next meal, consider subscribing to join us on our next journey.
And if there is a simple thing in your life, a food, a craft, or a tradition that you've always wondered about, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to explore it with you. Until next time, keep looking closer.
Thank you for watching. This is QC Project Time's Simple Things, where we find the extraordinary stories woven into the world's most familiar details.